This year's World Pneumonia Day will be commemorated amid calls from health advocates on leaders to scale up the fight against the disease, which is the single largest infectious cause of death in children worldwide. Pneumonia is a form of acute respiratory infection that affects the lungs. It affects children and families everywhere, but deaths are highest in South Asia and Sub-Saharan Africa. This year's theme, Every Breath Counts, is calling on governments with heavy burdens of pneumonia and air pollution to commit to reducing air pollution-related pneumonia deaths by 50% by 2030. Consultant Paediatrician Professor John Okeniyi joins me now on phone for more on this. Professor, it's good to have you join me this afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon.
Great. Now, there are so many misconceptions around pneumonia. A lot of people, in fact, growing up, we used to hear that you should wear clothes so that you won't be cold and you won't catch pneumonia. Can you clarify this? Is pneumonia cold, or is cold pneumonia, or what are their relationship?
No. Even in Yoruba language, we have a name for pneumonia in southwest Nigeria. We erroneously call it otutu aya. It is not as a result of cold, though extremes of cold temperature can predispose someone to pneumonia. These extremes I'm talking about are not temperatures we attain in Nigeria or Sub-Saharan Africa. In Russia and things like that, if somebody is caught overnight at temperatures -0 and things like that, yes, the person could have pneumonia, but otherwise it is a respiratory tract, lower respiratory tract infection. It is due to a pathogen and not because of temperature.
All right. Now, from the reports, we hear that it is more prevalent in South Asia as well as Sub-Saharan Africa, and these are, tropical regions, not as cold as the West or even like in Europe. What makes it more prevalent around here?
Indeed, I will invert the sentence you said. It is more prevalent in Africa and then Asia. Nigeria is the largest country where you have pneumonia and pneumonia deaths. So we lose over 100,000 persons annually, most of them children under 5. The reasons for this is that persons who have some risk factors for it are unduly predisposed. Infants who are not breastfed, infants who are bottom-fed, infants who are born low in their birth weight, preterms, amongst other risk factors. Other risk factors are malnutrition, and all of these are very prevalent in Nigeria and in Sub-Saharan Africa. This is an infection. So when you have undernutrition or your weight is not good or you're not feeding well, you are unduly predisposed to infection. The other thing is our high rate of pollution and environmental decadence. Infections everywhere. The air levels of pollution are high, and then pathogens are also high around here. Vaccination coverage is also low, and there are so many bacteria and viruses that can cause someone who is particularly predisposed to pneumonia. And besides, it's not just children, even extreme of ages. So our elderly, my own father was just discharged of pneumonia 2 weeks ago. He's 87.
So apart from the issue of hygiene around, talk to us basically how best to prevent pneumonia.
To prevent pneumonia, the best way out is if we take it from the start. Each person may have a risk. Some people have their risk because they are sickle cell anemic or they have a congenital heart infection and the rest. So those things need to be prevented or treated. The general population, however, who are apparently healthy and well, we should strive to ensure good nutrition. Where nutrition is good, pneumonias are much less. That's why it seems to be high in Sub-Saharan Africa and in the Asias, where places like Vietnam and things like that, and Nigeria and Egypt and Ghana and Mali, where the level of undernutrition is high, where we have a lot of preterm delivery, where we have babies that are born with low birth weight. So if we are able to address nutrition, the next thing should be vaccination. Many of the pathogens that are causing these things are vaccine preventable. The country has a national vaccination program whereby many of these things are taken into account, and these vaccines are available free. But for one reason or the other, parents fail to present their children to those places where they can be vaccinated, or the country itself in the local government where we don't have electricity, the vaccines, the cold chains are not maintained, and persons have these vaccines, but they are not effective. So all of those things that we know, we should strengthen how to best do it. But we need to address issues of overpopulation and poverty. Poverty is increasing, and people are not able to cook with clean fuels. To cook now with gas is getting more and more expensive. So people are falling back to, let me use the word, dirtier fuels like coal, charcoal, firewood, and the rest, kerosene. So persons, we are having increasing air pollution. Our urban transit is majorly by motorcycle with pollution. So if we don't address all of these basic things, then the bigger McCoy of pneumonia.
Okay.
It is the world's #1 killer disease as we speak, particularly in children.
That's really scary. Now, lastly, before I let you go, just in 1 minute, a day like this, how best can we commemorate a day like this?
The best thing is what you are doing. Information, and more information. Let people know. It should have been planned ahead, where school children are told, where radio stations jingle it, where these things are shown and like that. The more people know, the more aware they can be, and they can take personal choices. And then we leave the rest to the government and other agencies to do their part. But I would say kudos to you and all those who are commemorating this day.
All right.
This is a major preventable disease.
Right. Thank you so much, Professor John Okeniyi, consultant pediatrician. Thank you for talking to us.
You're welcome. Do have a nice day.
And you too. Thank you.